you're thinking about visiting Panama and maybe retire or live in Panama, but you don't know when you should start a residency process or apply for a visa? Well, I got you covered. Today, I'm going to show you when you need to apply for a visa and those type of requirements that are necessary whenever you're ready to start the process. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Giovanna Bernal. I'm a Panama attorney with more than 20 years of experience. So today we're diving into when you should apply for a Panama residency for a Panama visa, so you can avoid headaches and enjoy a smooth journey. And I'm here to help you how to navigate visas, traveling, and starting a new life in a new place, like Panama. First question is, do I need a visa? This is a question for a lot of people because maybe you know that you can enter Panama as a tourist. For example, Americans have right now 180 days to be in Panama as a tourist. Same applies for Canadians. But then there are some other countries like Latin American countries and European countries where the entry is up to 90 days, which means that someone can be in Panama as a tourist for 90 days. That's the term you can stay in Panama. Then if you stay longer of that period, you need to go back to your country because if you overstay, you will get penalties and have to pay money and you will be considered an illegal person in Panama. Another question we got a lot is how early should we apply? My advice is to start collecting and preparing at least 2-3 months before your arrival. We recommend that you stay in Panama for at least 5 working days. If you are planning to come to Panama for good because you already decided to be in Panama and move to Panama, you don't have to worry about how long you have to stay because you're coming. And the most important thing is that you bring your documents with you. If you are coming just for a specific objective, which is applying to get your temporary visa, then I recommend you start 2-3 months before arrival because the documents are good for only 6 months. And if you can get them 3 or 4 months before, you can also do that. The most important thing is that you plan ahead on timing because, for example, you need to check how long it takes you to obtain your background check, if it takes you a couple of hours only, or maybe it takes you for some weeks. So you have to think about that. Also think about the time a legalization takes because the apostille in some countries is fast, but in some others can take weeks. And if you go to a Panamanian consulate, maybe their timing is 1 week or maybe it's 2 weeks. So it really depends on where are you going to process your visa. And this is because in some countries the apostille is fast. Maybe you can do that in 1 day. Like in Panama, we do an apostille in just 1 day. But in some other countries, it can take 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 months. So you have to plan in advance depending on the timing. If you're using a Panamanian consulate, probably they will deliver the documents when you walk in, or maybe they tell you, no, it'll be ready in 1 week, depending on their volume, and also maybe 2 weeks, depending on which Panamanian consulate you're using in your jurisdiction. So some of the deadlines to keep in mind is definitely how long is your tourist visa, if it's 180 days, or if it's 90 days. And the other very important deadline is how long your documents will expire. So in this case, for Panama, documents expire in 6 months. If you're from the US, you have to take in mind that documents will expire in 6 months. In some other countries, for example, if your background check is from Costa Rica, it says that it expires in 3 months. So it also, if you live in Mexico, maybe it mentions it's 1 month, 3 months. So that's another thing to consider. But if you're collecting documents in the US or in Canada, documents will be good for 6 months. So it means that you have to make a trip to Panama within those 6 months so we can help you start processing your temporary visa. Another question that we also get is, besides the documents that are required to start a visa process, if the health certificate has to be done in another country, or if the translations have to be done in the country where you live. And that's something that you don't have to worry about, because in Panama, attorneys will take care of the translation and preparing most of the paperwork. Basically, what you have to do back home is collecting your background check. If you bring in family members that depend on you, you have to bring their birth certificates, all that is related to their visa process. So to summarize, remember that you have to be in Panama for at least 5 working days, and that you have to start collecting documents 2-3 months at least to get them ready before your trip. You can start earlier, as soon as possible, but just take in mind that the documents are good for 6 months. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in learning more about our visa services, you can always click in the link below for a Zoom consultation, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.